you need the global currency, and it's called the U.S., the global reserve currency. You need that as a medium of exchange. If you want to buy something in Argentina from someone in Brazil, or you want to buy something in Africa from someone in Venezuela, you're probably going to swap dollars, right? Why? Because there's 100 million companies that have invested 30 years to create accounting systems and point-of-sale systems to process billions and billions of transactions in those currencies. My company does it. I can actually swap my balance sheet to Bitcoin using 3 people, and I can do that in a matter of weeks. Swapping all of my vendor payments, all of my payroll, and all of my receivables into Bitcoin, that would be 1 billion times harder. Okay? And it's not worth 1 billion times more stress and effort. It's just not worth it. It's not in an inflationary environment. It decomposes a currency layer, which is losing value slowly, hopefully slowly. If your currency lost value, it would be a decade and $1 billion of work. And it wouldn't work. And by the time I finished the $1 billion of work, the company operation would go to zero. Right? It's literally a death sentence for a big institution to attempt to convert over its mediums of exchange and its accounting systems for routine transactions.
So right now, really, the value is to get Bitcoin on the balance sheet as a store of value, protect shareholder value that sits there, continue to operate your businesses. My understanding of what MicroStrategy is doing is you basically have articulated and highlighted 2 separate strategies. We have a software business that we're going to continue to try to grow, drive cash flow, and serve our customers from business intelligence standpoint. And then we have a treasury strategy, which is treasury protecting assets that are sitting around. Those 2 strategies. Obviously, the market is not incredibly attractive given what the stock price has done over the last year.
If your Apple computer, right, you've got 2 strategies you can pursue to get into the digital economy. One strategy is you just buy 51 and 3 people do it. And if the 3 people did it, then your stock becomes a Bitcoin derivative. Apple stock becomes a Bitcoin derivative. And if Bitcoin moves up at 100% a year, right, you're generating $50 billion a year of shareholder value. 3 people, $50 billion. It's a very simple strategy. The harder strategy is you start building Bitcoin protocol or Lightning protocol into all your other products. You can build it into the iPhone, you can build it into the iCloud, you can build it into all your other services, and they all have merit, and that's an operating strategy, and that, at some point that starts to correlate your revenues to the growth of the digital asset economy, the growth of Bitcoin. So, and both of those are rational. And what's not rational is to require that all your customers pay you in Bitcoin and stop taking dollars, right?
And you can control what you do with your balance sheet, right? You can control what your strategy is.
Or to rewire all your back accounting systems, and it's unnecessary. Right? It's not the right way. So, like coming back to my view of the world, I think my view of the world is we want to find the path of least resistance to fix everything, and that means looking at every single part of the economy. Every country would be better if they had some big cities. Cities can be improved if they buy Bitcoin. If a city buys Bitcoin and they issue bonds, the bond becomes a Bitcoin-backed bond, right? It becomes a derivative of Bitcoin. So I'm not against bonds, right? I'm not the guy saying we shouldn't have bonds. We should have bonds, right? If the junk bond index is 4% and you can issue a Bitcoin-backed bond at 6%, it's good for the people that have trillions of dollars locked up in bonds. It's good for Bitcoin. It's good for everybody in the middle. Right? We can say we can take the orthodox draconian view, which is bonds should go away and Bitcoin should be replaced with
It's not possible. It's not even a better view.
is you take your bank and you start handling Bitcoin, and you take your mobile app and you build Lightning in the mobile app, and you take your company and you buy it and you buy Bitcoin. And the reason I don't really think it's a threat to the Bitcoin ethos is because ultimately none of these people can control Bitcoin. It's like people worry, like, so I have $7 billion or $8 billion of Bitcoin. I don't have any more power than anybody else, right? And in fact, the only sentiment that's grown in my mind as my Bitcoin position has grown is I don't want anybody to change it. Like, don't mess it up. Right? So I think that I'm not threatened if a government buys Bitcoin. It wouldn't be bad for Bitcoin. I'm not threatened if a company buys it, if a bank buys it. And here, I guess there's one point worth making. If your portfolio is 100% Bitcoin, you don't have any conflicts of interest. The debate of whether or not people use Square, Cash App, PayPal, Robinhood, Coinbase, Binance, or buy the ETF, or buy Fidelity, or it doesn't really matter to you, right? It doesn't matter to you. Whether they buy MicroStrategy stock to get Bitcoin, it doesn't matter, right? You're just holding the underlying asset. If you decide that you want to get in the business of selling hardware wallets, or if you run an exchange, or if you provide advice, now you have a conflict of interest. So now you're a Bitcoin entrepreneur, and maybe like if you're Tether and you're issuing stable coins, you don't want JP Morgan to issue stable coins. It's conflict of interest, right?
Competition.
Right? I mean, if the feds say you have to get an FDIC license, now you got to jump through a hurdle. Now you need general counsels. You need to actually pay lawyers. You have to do stuff, right? You have to have nexus. You have to have insurance. So there are a lot of things that are happening in the economy. They're good for Bitcoin. They're just not good for every entrepreneur in the crypto ecosystem. And there is a conflict of interest, and that's why, like, people ask me, well, are you going to get into other things? Are you going to build software? Well, that's a conflict of interest, you know. Are you going to go into Bitcoin mining? That's a conflict of interest. Are you going to invest with counterparts? Conflict of interest. So you can do that, but those are businesses, and they have investment risk, and you have competition, and you can fail or succeed. And the truth of the matter is it good for Bitcoin if JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America issue $10 trillion of USD stable coins and start handling Bitcoin and selling it to other institutional investors? Yeah, it's good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin, then $10 million a coin. And all the people that believed in Bitcoin for the last decade are going to have the financial wherewithal to create their own companies to do whatever they want, right? And to express their sentiment. It's just not good for the entrepreneurs that compete against the mega caps.
Let me ask this question. We recently have seen a bunch of politicians all start to pay attention in various ways. So we've got on one side, in the United States, most politicians started off all racist. Without naming any of them, there's a number that were very concerned about Bitcoin to go back a couple of years. We then saw, obviously, China go ahead and ban miners. China take a pretty aggressive step there. But over the last, let's call it 8 months, 7 months, we've seen El Salvador go ahead and make Bitcoin the tender. They seem to not only be supporting it as a tender, they also are onboarding people via this app that they built, and also this ATM network that they built. They're mining Bitcoin. They're really trying to plug their country into the network. And then just recently, over the last week or two, we've seen multiple politicians, all at the local level, start to become much more friendly or embracing Bitcoin. So you've got obviously the mayor of Miami, who's been very kind of pro-Bitcoin here in Miami. You've got Eric Adams, who's the new mayor of New York City. He now leaning in, saying he's going to take these paychecks in Bitcoin and some of these schools. We've also got two kind of smaller mayors, one in Tennessee and one in, I think it's Tampa Bay, in Florida, all intersection of Bitcoin and politicians, and it's just a continuation of like that's good for business, it's good for corporations, and it's good for politicians as well. Or how do you read that situation?
I think that one of the great advantages of Bitcoin is it's money of people, right? Money for the people, and the combination of the fact that it's permissionless, nobody controls it, means everyone can adopt it, everyone can engage in it, and the proof of work network means that you have a large business in Bitcoin mining. And what is Bitcoin mining? Bitcoin mining is like this. It's like your skin. It's the first line of defense of your immune system, right? It's what makes you healthy. It's what makes the Bitcoin mining industry is $22 billion industry. That means that the protocol is creating a $22 billion subsidy for Bitcoin entrepreneurs to go out into the world and find supportive political jurisdictions. $22 billion per year. So when you think about that, that means that the miners themselves, they have to raise capital, they have to raise it, but you see the Bitcoin miners are the big thing in the market, right? All their stocks are up. Yes, and they've been very successful. You can take a Bitcoin miner public. You can take a Bitcoin miner public. You can take a Bitcoin stake validator public. One of the big differentiators is the miners. The miners have to use encryption technology, but the miners are also bringing political capital to the network. And so I think that what you're seeing here is lots of jurisdictions either sound money, raise money, all those or political constituency. And I guess we're going to get close to the point where we're going to flip 50% of the electorate, right? 50% of the electorate.
There's going to be a Bitcoiner in Congress. There already are. There's going to be Bitcoiners in the Senate. There already are. Eventually, a Bitcoiner will be president. It's not necessarily because they're going to run on just a Bitcoin-only ticket, but they're going to have grown up. They're going to have healthy asset. They're going to become the president of the United States and hold Bitcoin, right?
It's the most Bitcoin's the greatest brand in the history of the world. First observation. It's the greatest brand in the history of the world. What's brand value? Brand value is monetary premium, right? The monetary premium of Bitcoin is $1.2 trillion right now. Name another brand that's worth $1.2 trillion, right? So it's the greatest brand in the world. It's the greatest monetary asset in the world. I mean, I'm not counting the dollar because the dollar is an inflationary asset. It's not an investment. If you pick an asset that you could reasonably expect to protect you against inflation, Bitcoin becomes the most popular one, other than just like random real estate, right? Yeah. Just owning land. I guess land was maybe the most popular one, and Bitcoin is that digital property. So how do I buy all these other things in Africa or Asia or anywhere? Right? It's a very egalitarian asset, and that makes it politically advantageous, right? I mean,
Mày khổ tao biệt rồi.
a politician would say, I don't want you to own your own
Miền không?
house, and I don't want you to have economic, right? I mean,
Mày chữa giòn lắm.
Higher velocity than anything. It's high velocity asset. It's a bank in cyberspace, but it's a franchise bank. So anybody on Earth in any jurisdiction can create their own franchise of the bank. And what that means, right? Paxful or, fill in the blank, every crypto exchange in every country on Earth, when they're selling you Bitcoin or exchanging Bitcoin, they're in essence creating, a franchise bank of Bitcoin where they're marketing it. So Bitcoin is spread through two incredibly powerful franchises. The Bitcoin exchangers, who are the Bitcoin banks, if you will, and it's open and permissionless, right? So you don't have to get a license from the FDIC to have a bank in Egypt that deals in Bitcoin. And then it's spreading through the Bitcoin miners. They're the security providers. So the network operators and and the bankers are spreading like wildfire everywhere. Who's an example? Well, Square Cash App, right? I mean, that's an example of a Bitcoin bank. PayPal is a Bitcoin bank. Coinbase is a Bitcoin bank. Binance is a Bitcoin bank, right? And when you look at Marathon and Riot and all these Bitcoin, they're the other side of the network. So I think that it's inevitable that more and more politicians begin to support the network. Not everyone will, but the game theory of it is such that the more hostile one regime is, the more lucrative it is for another regime, right? It was a benefit to the United States when China banned Bitcoin, right? Cracking down on Bitcoin mining was a gift handed to the West, and I've said it before. I think it's worth $1 trillion, right? And you can see it in the hash rate statistics. But at some point, it's so. Bitcoin mining is the most lucrative use of energy in the world.
Oh, that's hands down. That's
in the world,
yeah,
right?
Very provable and very verifiable.
In the world. And it's the best use of intermittent energy and the best use of sustainable energy. And so
bạn nhập vô mi bỏ buộc lọc ra thêm vô miếng bột gạo nữa nó sẽ là giòn mi đừng ngu.
expect an avalanche more of political support. And the answer is yes. And why is it stable? It's stable because the Bitcoin miners and the Bitcoin holders are going to go wherever the politicians support them, and they're going to bring their capital and they're going to pay taxes.